Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel. My name still remains Mary T. So I will be making a video on how to cut a short gown, a wrapping short gown. The skirt part will be a wrapping dress, then with a puff sleeve or balloon sleeve, anyone can serve. So I'll be using this white material. This is called cushion material. I'll be using it. This is my tape, my scissors, and my chalk. So I'll proceed by folding my fabric into two. I'll be cutting directly to my fabric. I just folded my fabric into two, as you can see. But before we proceed, if you are new to my channel, you are welcome. Please like, subscribe, click to the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a new video. If you have any complaint or something you don't understand, or if you have any new style that you want me to work on, you can drop it on the comment box. I'll go through it. All right, let's proceed. The length of the gown I'm working on is 41. Then 41, I have to minus the half inch. The half length, sorry. The half length is 17. Minus on 41, I'll have 24. So I'll mark out my 24, adding my 1 inch my 1 inch hemming allowance and 1 inch sewing allowance. I hope you are seeing my tape. 1 inch sewing allowance and 1 inch hemming allowance, making it 26. To get my hip measurement, from waist to my hip is 9 inches. I'm cutting the down part first. It's 9 inches. Then the waist measurement on this dress is 34. 34, I will divide it by 4 because we are cutting 2 skirts. So I have already folded this one into 2. I'll still fold another one into 2, making it 4. So 34 divided by 4 will give me 8.5. I'll be adding 2 inches sewing allowance, making it 10.5. The hip measurement is 42. Divided by 4 will give me 10.5 plus 2 inches sewing allowance, which is 12.5. Then the hemming, the down part, wherever I get on the hip, 12.5, I'll minus into 1 inches and bring it down to the hemming part. So here I have 11.5. So I'll connect it. If you have a pattern master, you can use it, your ruler. But me, I'm using freehand. So this is what I have on the skirt. Remember, I put down the skirt length. The gown length is 41. I might lost half inch, a half length. Then I added the sewing allowance and seam allowance, giving me 26 in total. To get my hip, I use 9. From waist to my hip is 9 inches. I bring it down. Then I put my waist circumferences and my hip circumferences. Then whatever I get on the hip, I minus 1 inches and bring it down to the down part. So this is it. I remember we are cutting a wrapping dress. So I'll be cutting. Now I'll use this front piece to cut out the so now this is the front, the back I mean to say. I've slit it open, I've cut it open. Then this is the front. So because we are cutting a wrapping dress, I notch the center part, I notch this place and here. So I'll open it up. This is the center of the dress. So this is the center of the dress. I'll come in here. I hope you are seeing it. I'll come in here by 3 inches. Then I'll come in here by 1 inch. So I'll connect this 1 inch to this 3 inches. No, this part I come up by 4.5. Sorry, not 3. So I'll cut it open. I'll remove this side. This is the side I'll be using. Remember, from the center of this skirt, I mark 4.5. Then from center of this place, I minus 1. Yeah, I come in by 1 inch. Then I join it together. So this is what I have. I'll use this one to trace out another one. So this is the 2 pieces, the front pieces. All you have to do, all I'll do is I'll place the one on top of the other. I hope you can see it. I'll place one. Then I'll leave the length of the sleeve I want, the slit I want. If I want it to be too open, I can widen it a bit. While I have it as in a very, you see it. If I want the slit to be too open, I can widen it. I can open the skirt very well. giving me a very nice slit open. Then if I want the slit not to be too open, then I can bring the skirt very close. So I'll use bias. If you like, you can make use of lining. I don't want to line this thing up, it's a thick material. I'll use bias to turn this place up and do the same here. Then this one, there is no need for that. I don't put that on my wrapping skirt. Even upper part, side, if it's a wrapping dress, I don't put that. Then this is for the front. Then to the back, all I have to do is I will sew hair straight. This is where I'll put my zip. Then to mark out my dart, I added 1 inch for zipper allowance. All you have to do is the back dart I mark 5 by 6. Why is 5 by 6 is because I added 1 inch for zipper allowance. So normal dart is 4 by 6, but I have to add up that 1 inch, giving me 5 by 6. So here is for my dart. I'll dart it up like this. This is my dart. For the dart, 5 by 6. Then I'll take half inch by the both side and sew it. I'll do the same to the other side of the skirt. After that, I'll join both the front and the back together. So let's move down to the half length. So to cut the half length, the half length is 17 plus 1 inch sewing allowance, which is 18 inches. To get my bust, from shoulder to my bust is 9 inches. Is a normal measurement for almost everybody, but if the person is very slim, you can go for 8 inches depending the size of the person. So for mine, I'm using 9 inches. Then the shoulder I'm working on, the shoulder measurement is 15. 15 divided by 2 will give me 7.5. Then I'll bring down the 7.5 to the bust. My bust measurement, the bust measurement I'm using is 38. 38 divided by 4 will give me 9.5 plus 3 inches sewing allowance, which is 11.5. The waist measurement is 34. 34 divided by 4 will give me 8.5 plus 3 inches, which is 10.5. Then to get my armhole, I'll come to the midpoint, which is 4.5. Then I'll come inward by ½ inch. I don't know if this chalk is really marking well. This is for my midpoint, for my armhole. So I'll cut it out for you to understand where I'm cutting. I said my half length is 17 plus 1 inch sewing allowance, which is 18. Then to get my bust measurement, my bust length, from shoulder to my bust is 9. Then my shoulder measurement is 15 divided by 2, which gives me 7.5. I mark it down. My bust circumference is is 38 divided by 4, which is 9.5, plus 2 inches sewing allowance, which is 11.5. Sorry, my waist is 34 divided by 4, 8.5, plus 2 inches sewing allowance, 10.5. I mark it down. So I'll cut it out before cutting this to trace out the back. So I just trace out the back. Then to cut the neck, the dress is a round neck. The wideness of the neck I'll use 3 inches, or rather 3.5, sorry, 3.5. The width I'll use 3 inches for the front. Then for the back I'll use 1.5. 3 inches the wide, and the width is 1.5 for the back. Then the front is 3 inches, the wide, and the width is 3.5. And the depth, sorry, the back is 3 inches by the width, and the depth is 1.5. The front is 3 inches for the wide, and the depth is 3.5. So I'll cut out the back first. The width and the depth. Then I'll cut open the zipper allowance. So to put the dart on this one, I'll mark my 4. This is for the front. 4 inches. Then I'll measure from top. The underbust is 13 inches. I'll mark my 4 inches down to the underbust. Then I'll minus 1/2 inch. I'll minus 1/2 inch. So instead of my 13 inches, it's 13.5. From that 13.5, that's where my dart will start. From the 13.5 to the down, that's where my dart will. That's where I'll put my dart. Then the shoulder, I'll minus 1 inches for shoulder slope. 1 inches for shoulder slope. I don't know if this my chalk is really showing, but I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. I minus 1 inch for the shoulder slope. So this is it for the front. All I will do is I'll put zip. I will attach this half length to the skirt. So after attaching the back part, I will add my zip. After adding my zip, I will sew my dart. After the dart, then I will join the both side. I'll join the both side together and close it. Then after closing it, I'll show you the outcome. All right. To cut out the sleeve, the sleeve is a balloon sleeve, or you can call it a puff sleeve. So the length I'm using for the sleeve is 17.5. 17.5. The round sleeve of the person I'm cutting is 18 inches. Sorry, 18. I'll divide it by 2, which will give me. Sorry, forgive me. This round sleeve I'm cutting is 16 inches, not 18. Divide it by 2 will give me 8. Then I'll add 1 inch sewing allowance, making it 9. So I'll come down here by 4. Eight inches. This is my 8 inches sleeve. Then I will come in. I'll connect it from the top here to that 4 inches that I mark out. So this is for a normal sleeve, a normal basic sleeve. Then I will add 5 inches or 6 inches to make it very puffy, to make it excess. Okay, I'll be adding 6.5. From this 6.5, I'll connect it here. I'll cut it out for you to see. I don't know what's wrong. This material doesn't accept shock. So this is for the sleeve. I will attach this place to the armhole. Then here I'll use bind. If you look at the style, it has a sleeve bind. So this is for the bind. The bind I will be using 4 inches. I folded it into 2. 4 inches for the bind. I'm using 4 inches by 12. So this is for the bind. All I have to do now is I'll gather the sleeve. This is the sleeve, the wideness of the sleeve. I'll gather the sleeve here. I'll use a gather stitch here. I'll gather the sleeve all here to make it very puffy. I'll gather all the sleeve. Then after I gather the sleeve, then I'll sew this on top of it, giving me a very nice closing. So this is for the sleeve. I hope you understand the sleeve cutting. Just the normal basic sleeve, that's what I cut out. Then I added 6.5 on it, excess of it, so that it will give me excess material for the puff, for the balloon, to have that balloon. So this is it, and this is the bind for the sleeve. So I will join up the whole material. I will put my darts, I will attach my zip, then I'll close the both side. I will attach the sleeve and show you. So right now I have joined the both side of the skirt. This is the front. So I'll hem it. I'll hem the down part. This is the back. I put my dart, like I told you, 4 by 6. The front doesn't have that because it's a wrapping dress. One is on top of each other. So this is the back. You see it, one is on top of each other. And I've closed the two sides. So all I have to do now is I'll hem it. I'll hem it by 1 inch. I'll fold first by half, fold another by half. Then after that this is the front. I will attach the half length. I will attach it. I've already put my dart. This is for the zip. Then I will also join this one. I'll make sure that the front dart rhyme with the back dart. You see that, as in the half length, the dart rhyme with the dart of the skirt. So after joining that, I will show you. I will attach my zip at the same time and I will show you.